was your cup size before and now? What size and shape was your implants? How much did you pay? Do you miss your old boobs? Can you post a before and after of your boobs? Has it affected your confidence? Has it affected your workouts, your intensity? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Taylor, and in today's video, I'm going to be filming a 1 year boob job update. So if you don't know, last year I traveled to Sydney in Australia and got a boob job. So if you didn't know that, then you probably also don't know that I do have part 1 and part 2 boob job vlog up on my channel, and I also have a 3-month boob job update as well. So if you have not seen those, go check them out after this video. But let's jump straight into the questions. The first question I have is, what was your cup size before and now? So my previous cup size I think was somewhere between an A and a B. To be honest, I hardly even wore bras, but the bras that I did own were some were A and some were Bs. I sort of just wasn't in between, to be honest. But now I am a double D to E. I am more an E, but the pretty bras come in a double D, so I tend to buy that size. And then the next question I have is, what size and shape was your implants? So I went for a 360cc Motiva ergonomic. So I went for the biggest size I could get that would still suit my body frame, and for that my surgeon recommended 360cc. And then in terms of the shape, Motiva ergonomic basically means it is a teardrop shape when standing up, and then when I lie down it goes into a circular shape. So yeah. So the next question I have is, did you go under or over the muscle, and how did this affect the healing process? So I went under the muscle, but this wasn't really something that I chose. My surgeon just specialized in going more under the muscle, so that's just what I went for. I think it also is more of a natural look as well. However, with going with the under the muscle option, apparently that does have a way longer healing process time that comes with that. So yeah, that is what I got. The next question I have is, where did I go and who was my surgeon? So as I said, I went to Sydney in Australia, and I went to the clinic called One Cosmetic, and my surgeon was Dr. Vessel. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he is the only surgeon at that clinic that specializes in the boob jobs. There is another surgeon that specializes in other things, I think like nose jobs, but yeah, that is who I went to. The next question I have is, how much did you pay? So for my boob job, the original cost was $8,500 Australian. And then I had to pay an extra 1,000 Australian for my fat grafting for my inner cleavage, and that overall worked out to be somewhere around 10,500 New Zealand dollars. The next question I have is, what was your experience like with the company I went to? So my experience was pretty good when it comes to the initial stages, like the pre-consult, your proper consult, and basically everything prior to surgery was brilliant. They replied fast, they were onto it, they were very quick. But then when it came to my consult the day before my surgery, it felt very rushed, and it didn't feel very personal. It sort of felt like get you in and out as fast as possible. Yeah, it didn't feel like there was much of a connection between you and the surgeon. It was sort of just, yeah, get you in and out and get as many people through as possible. And then there wasn't too much communication after my surgery. I obviously had my post-op consult, but that was done via Zoom, and then I also had another call after that talking through the cleaning up and taking the bandages off my incisions with the nurse, because at that time there was no restrictions around being in person, so I was able to travel to Sydney, get my boob job, stay there for a week, and then come back and then just do Zoom and consults and calls. But yeah, I would say my experience was really good before surgery, but after surgery I didn't have much communication with them and it wasn't really much of a personal experience. I hope that made sense for you guys. The next question is, would you do anything differently with what you know now, and do you wish you went bigger or smaller? So in terms of would I do anything differently, I don't think I would. I was very, very strong-minded that I wanted big and bold boobs, but I was scared out of it through my mum being like, you don't want to go too intense and look too fake. So literally an hour before my surgery time, I ended up calling and asking if they could try hand source the natural shape, and luckily enough they were able to source the natural shaped implant an hour before surgery and hand deliver it to the hospital. So I was very, very lucky. However, after my surgery, there were, I must admit, in the first probably 3 to 6 months, there were times where I wish I had that more out there boob shape. I felt like I had to really wear push-up bras to get that cleavage and more higher volume. But then nearing now my 1 year point, I'm now very glad that I went for the natural shape. And then in terms of the size, I feel like I love the size of my boobs when I'm wearing no bra, but then I feel like sometimes my boobs look a little bit too big when I wear a bra. So yeah, I'm in two minds. Like, I love the size of them when I wear no bra, but then they're a little bit big with a bra. And it also comes down to what I'm wearing. Sometimes my boobs look pretty big with certain pieces of clothing and then a lot smaller with other. But yeah, overall, I don't think I would change anything, to be honest. I'm happy with the size. I wouldn't have wanted to go any bigger though. And I'm also still glad that I did go for the natural style. As much as sometimes I would love that higher volume, I just have told myself that I need to wear a push-up bra for those moments. The next question I have is, has it affected your workouts, your intensity, push-ups and pull-ups? And also, do you feel them separating when working out? So the answer to that is 100% yes. Having a boob job has 100% changed the way that I train. But I knew this going into surgery. Prior, my surgeon had told me what he expected me to stop doing after getting a boob job. So before my surgery, he did tell me I will never be able to do push-ups, pull-ups, any form of chest exercises, and then potentially any form of upper body exercises that causes my boobs to separate and when it engages too much chest. But yeah, so after getting my boob job, I have not once done a push-up. I do not do pull-ups. I don't train chest. So in terms of has it affected my training, it definitely has. I go to a lot of group fitness classes and I've had to do a lot of alternative exercises. So whenever there is, for example, a track training chest, I will opt for biceps, and I will just go at the same pace and do the same sort of thing that they're doing, but in a bicep format. I hope that makes sense. So it's just meant that during those classes that I go to, I train biceps 2 to 3 times during that workout, because I'm opting for biceps anytime that they're doing something that activates the chest. And also in terms of the part of the question saying, do you feel them separating? 100% yes, you do feel them separating, only when you're doing chest exercises though. I don't feel like they move if I am making sure that I'm not activating my chest. But yeah, overall I still work out every week, 4 to 5 times a week. I just opt for alternatives when it comes to any form of chest activation exercises. The next question I have is, do any exercises still cause soreness? And the answer to that would probably be no, to be honest. However, I do feel a bit of soreness and uncomfortable, not really soreness, but sort of uncomfortableness. I don't think that's really a word. If I go to work out and I'm not wearing a supportive bra. But obviously that comes down to what I'm doing on the day. If it's a class or a form of workout that involves a lot of jumping and moving, then I wear a lot more supportive things. But if it's more just weights, then I can wear those more cuter, less supportive crop top options. So yeah, I do experience some uncomfortableness when it comes to exercise, only if I'm wearing the incorrect gear. And the next question I have is, are they a one and done thing, or do they need adjustments later on in life? And the answer is no, they're definitely not a one and done thing. They do recommend getting them replaced every 10 to 15 years. It's not compulsory, like you don't have to do it, but it's something they recommend for health and safety, just because it is a foreign object in your body, and they just feel like it's better that way to switch them out every 10 to 15 years. So the next question I have is, what is something that you did not expect? To be honest, there hasn't really been anything that I did not expect. However, there has been a feeling when doing something in particular that I feel a bit weird about and I did not expect, which is when I have no support, no bra, no crop top, and just wearing pajamas, or in the shower, if I ever bend over and my boobs are like dropping down to the ground, I feel this weight, like I can feel this weird, not uncomfortableness, but real weird feeling of the weight dropping towards like my nipples and like hanging down. It sounds really weird, but yeah, it just feels like my boobs are then turning into cones and they're like just drooping down. I don't know how to explain it, it's really hard, but anyway, that is probably one thing that I did not expect. I thought they were just going to feel like my boobs did before, but just bigger. But anyway, that is that. The next question is, how was the pain during the healing process? So to be honest, I feel like I have quite a high pain tolerance, so I didn't find the pain that bad at all, to be honest. And even in that first week or two after my surgery, I didn't even take the full dosage of painkillers, but that is purely also because they made me vomit, so I couldn't. I had to take half of the dosage, but honestly, I didn't find it that bad. I just made sure I wasn't lifting super heavy. I wasn't really, for a while, maybe the first like 3 to 4 weeks, lifting my arms up. And yeah, I was just being cautious. And yeah, I didn't really find it that painful. I was literally at Bondi Beach the following morning, going for a walk. I was shopping the next day. Call me crazy, but I do love shopping. And I didn't find it that painful. I was probably still dosed up with painkillers. But yeah, honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was so bearable. And the next question I have is, have you had any side effects or anything come up that you were not expecting? And the answer to that is no. I can't really think of anything on the top of my head. The next thing I have is, can you share your inspo photos that you showed the surgeon at your consult? And yes, I can. I obviously was saving heaps of boob photos prior to surgery to show my surgeon what I was after. So I will pop them up on the screen here for you now, so you can see what sort of boobs I liked the look of. Obviously I didn't go for all of these options, but these were all of the ones that I saved that I was tossing out between. So these are them. And the next question I have is, how long did you wait before wearing a bra? And the answer to that was 3 months. So for 3 months I had to wear my surgery bra, which is basically a crop top that zips up the front and it sort of has compression around your boobs. And one thing I have a bone to pick is that when I went and got my surgery bra before my surgery, they only had fluorescent pink compression bras in stock. I was so annoyed. I was like, you kidding me? I've paid $10,500 for this surgery and you are giving me one compression bra to wear for the next 3 months and it's fluorescent pink. I was really annoyed, but anyway, I wore a compression bra for 3 months. Nearing that 2 to 3 months mark, I was wearing more of like a really high compression black Lululemon bra, which my surgeon said was okay to wear. I just couldn't wear any bras or underwire bras or anything like that. And it was quite a painful process because it meant there was obviously a lot of clothes that I couldn't wear because I was wearing a thick sports bra and it just wasn't very attractive. But I did try to listen to all of the rules that my surgeon said just to make sure that my healing process and the overall result was exactly what they were meant to be. So the next question I have is, do you have any problems with wearing bras with underwire? And no, I do not. Obviously, I would have had an issue if I'd worn them prior to the 3 month mark, just because wearing a bra, or in particular underwire bras, it puts too much pressure on the incisions. So yeah, I would say no, I don't have any issues now wearing a bra. Honestly, it feels better. And the next question I had was, did you have someone that would wash your hair for you and cater for you during your recovery? So to be honest, my recovery was pretty all good, pretty smooth, pretty easy. I was staying in Sydney for a week after surgery, and I think for the very first shower I did when I washed my hair, my mum did it for me. But after that, honestly, I found it manageable. I just went really, really slow and sort of just brought my head down when I washed my hair. And obviously I had my partner who helped me a lot. If there was anything that I couldn't reach and grab or anything heavy I couldn't do. But overall, yeah, like I didn't need someone like 24/7 catering for me or supporting me with everything I did. I honestly was pretty fine. And the next question I have is, did you go through the areola, the armpit, or under the breast? And the answer to that was under the breast. That is just the style that my surgeon did, so that's just what I went with. And to be honest, I don't really mind. The incisions they don't really stand out much, and they go in the under crease part of your boob, so you hardly ever see them. And then the next question is, were you nervous they would look horrible? There was a small percentage of me that was worried that they would look terrible, but honestly I don't think I really had that thought, because I'd literally looked through so many before and afters that my surgeon had done, and I also follow a lot of Australian influencers that had gone to that clinic, that surgeon as well, and I loved the look of their boobs. So I honestly had no worry in the world, to be honest, that they would look terrible. The next question I have is, did they show you a before and after in a drawing or a Photoshop sort of thing? And yes, they did. I actually had no idea that they do that, but in my pre-surgery consult, which was my consult the day before surgery, it's deciding my size and shape with my surgeon, he showed me this 3D imagery of my body, of what it looks like before with my A to B cups. And then after we decided sort of what size I was after, he showed me what it would look like on the 3D imagery with my new boobs. And it was pretty cool, but it was sort of still hard to imagine. Like, you could see it there, but it was still hard to imagine how big that would be. But yeah, he did do that. And the next question I have is, has it affected your confidence? And to be honest, I feel like most people after getting a boob job would say, yes, it has affected my confidence. It is way higher now. But to be honest, I was still really confident and happy in my body when I had size A to B cup boobs. And I'm still confident now with my double D to E boobs. It may have made my confidence slightly higher because I like the look as well more of the bigger boobs. But to be honest, I was confident in both stages, before and after. The next question I have is, has it affected your style? And to put it pretty blunt, I would say yes. There's definitely a lot of styles of tops that I used to wear with my small boobs that no longer suit my bigger boobs, and there's tops now that suit me that didn't suit me with my smaller boobs. So overall, I would say the cut and the shape of tops has changed, but overall my style is still the same. And the next question I have is, has my clothes size changed after getting a boob job done? And that is a yes and a no answer. It depends what the piece of clothing is and the stretch to the fabric. But before my boobs, when I was in A to B, I was like 95 to 98% of the time extra small. But after getting my boob job now, when it comes to certain clothes, the way they fit, the material, sometimes I am now size 8 in a size small, and I'm probably more that completely now, but sometimes I do still fit into extra small. So I'd say probably 75% of the time I am a small, and 15% of the time I'm an extra small now that I have my bigger boobs. And the next question I have is, have you had any awkward experiences? I'm trying to think. I think the only awkward experiences that I've had since getting a boob job would be that now I obviously am that one person in the class that's doing something different when it comes to those chest tracks. So awkwardly, everyone is doing their chest press and I'm awkwardly standing up doing biceps. Like, there's moments obviously that people are staring at you being like, what is this chick doing? Why is she not doing the exercise that everyone else is doing? So I've had that, and then obviously running into people that sort of know you with your small boobs and then randomly you have bigger boobs. That's been a bit weird. But overall, I haven't really experienced any awkward experiences other than having to awkwardly do other exercises in group fitness classes. The next question I have is, has anyone known they were fake? To be honest, no. But I also have been so openly honest with having a boob job. But I think because, I mean, they do look a little bit more in charge now because I am wearing more of a low cut top that's extra small and pushes my boobs in. But to be honest, with most clothes that I wear and also the shape that I did go for, they do look natural. Like, they don't stand out like a sore thumb being fake and real circular and high profile. So I wouldn't think that many people straight away thought they were fake when you first see me out in public. But then again, people that I do know fully know I have a boob job, and I'm pretty open and proud, and I don't really care if they know that or not. The next question I have is, are you wearing a bra 24/7 now? And I would say no. Sometimes I'm wearing clothes that require a strapless bra, but sometimes I just can't be bothered and I just wear no bra. But to be honest, on those days near the last quarter of the day, my boobs do get a little bit sore if I'm not wearing a bra. So I would say I'm wearing a bra probably 85% of the time, and 15% of the time I'm not. It just depends what I'm wearing. But sometimes I am wearing something like this, and I obviously can't really wear a bra because the straps are super thin. But because the dress is very tight and it's a extra small, it does support me because it's tighter around the boobs. The next question I have is, do you wear crop tops to bed? So for a decent amount of time after my surgery, obviously for those like 3 months after, probably even up to 4 months, I was wearing my surgery bra to bed underneath my PJs, and then after that I was wearing nothing. But then sometimes I felt it to be a bit uncomfortable wearing nothing to bed. So I would say now it's sort of 50-50. Sometimes I wear, I actually got it right here, I wear this Peter Alexander just like cotton sports, not sports bra, this like cotton bralette with no underwire or anything to bed underneath my PJs, and then sometimes I don't, just depends if it's clean or not. But yeah, the next question I have is, are they visually what you thought they would look like after 1 year, and have they dropped much? So to be honest, I didn't really have any expectations or any sort of visual of what they would look like after a year. I had no idea. Yeah, I honestly had no idea. And to be honest, a lot of my inspo or a decent amount of my inspo photos, some of them were more that high profile look, and I did end up switching obviously to more of the natural teardrop shape. So I couldn't really then compare them to my inspo photos of what I thought they were going to turn out like. To be honest, I can't really answer that question, but then in terms of the did they drop, 100% they dropped. Oh my gosh, that first 3 months, especially that first week, you should have seen them. They were horrific. They looked like aliens on my chest. They looked like rock hard melons, like cones pointing out. They sat super high. They were just so ugly, to be honest, so ugly. But lucky I had watched so many YouTube videos prior, so I sort of knew that's what I had to expect, that they would look really bad. So luckily I didn't freak out. I just trusted the process and trusted what my surgeon had said and went with it. But honestly, I think there's been quite a few people on YouTube that have said that they cried their eyes out in that first week of how ugly they looked, and they were like, what the hell did I do? The next question I have is, can you post a before and after of your boobs? So of course I can. So I will pop up on the screen now a whole lot of photos of what my boobs look like before my boob job. Very, very small. And then I will pop up on the screen a whole lot of after photos as well. There you go. So quite a dramatic transformation, as you can see. The next question I have is, have you experienced breast implant illness? And no, but obviously that is something you 100% have to consider before getting a boob job, and I'm pretty sure your surgeon should be telling you about that and sharing what they know about it. But yeah, that is one of the risks of getting a boob job, is breast implant illness. I can't tell you off the top of my head exactly the definition of it, but I will pop it up on the screen for you now, and I will also pop the risks or the symptoms of what breast implant illness is. It is absolutely awful, and I'm very, very lucky and very, very glad that that's not what happened to me, but it is a risk that you have to be willing to take when getting a boob job. And then the next question I have is, can you sleep on your stomach? And simple answer to that is not at the start. So in your healing process, my surgeon recommended for the first 2 months to be sleeping on my back, which was very, very hard because I am a stomach sleeper. So that was very hard. But after the 2 month mark, for the 2 to 3 month mark, I slept on my side and then slowly transitioned to my stomach, and now I'm 100% sleeping back on my stomach, and I feel comfortable doing so, so that's fine. Then the next question I have is, what have other people thought of your boobs? And from what I know, my friends and my family have thought they looked good, but obviously I don't think they're going to tell me if it looks bad as well though. And the next question I have is, has people's perceptions of you changed since getting them done, or have people treated you differently? And to be honest, no. I don't think people have treated me differently. People's perception of me, probably not. The people that know me, truly know me, my close friends and family, know that this is something I'd wanted for ages. So honestly, me getting a boob job didn't really come at much of a surprise to them. So yeah, the next question I have is, do you miss your old boobs? And to be honest, there has been stages where yes, I have missed my boobs, but I'm also very, very happy with my boobs now. The next question I have is, why did you get them done? And simple answer to that is, I just generally liked the look of boobs, and I thought that sometimes with the style of clothing I wore and my smaller boobs, I looked a bit more masculine. I don't know, I just had grown up from a young age really wanting a boob job and really liked the look of them, and just wanted to fill out my clothes a lot more and just feel a little bit more, not confident in my boobs, but I don't know. I just wanted a boob job, that's all. The next one I have to answer is, do they feel like real boobs now? And to be honest, they feel a lot more softer and a lot more real now than what they did in the first sort of at least 6 months. they feel a lot more softer, but I 100% don't think they feel like ultimate real boobs. The next question I have is, do you still have feeling in your nipples? And yes, I do, but there is also a risk when getting a boob job that you could lose that feeling in your nipple. It's just a risk, and luckily for me, I didn't. The next question I have is, would you go back to the surgeon you went for if you went back in time and did it again? And I think yes, I would, even though I said it wasn't a super personal connection and experience with the surgeon and the company I went with, it still delivered the results, so that's all that really matters. However, in saying that, I would say probably 2 weeks to a month after I got back from my surgery, the rules in Australia changed. When it came to any surgeries, they said that they no longer allowed people to do online consults. So it meant if you wanted to go overseas to get a boob job or any form of surgery for your obviously your day before surgery consult and your post consult at a few weeks later, and your 3-month post, all had to be in person. So that would have meant that I would have had to travel to Australia like 3-4 times for my boobs, but that would have honestly been unrealistic to me, I think, which meant I may have had to consider getting my boobs done in New Zealand with a surgeon that I didn't know as well. But then again, the reason why I also did go to Australia is because it is cheaper in Australia. So yeah, overall, sorry, the answer to that question is yes, I think I would still go back to the surgeon and the clinic I went to. They did a good job, and that's all that really matters. And then the next question I have is, when it comes to getting them changed in the like 10 to 15 year mark, do you think you will change the shape or the size? And I don't know, I might get them, I don't know at this point. Potentially could get them a slightly bit smaller and then maybe more of a high profile. But then again, I don't know. I don't know what I'll be thinking in 10 to 15 years, to be honest. Like even in 10 years, I will be 33, 34 years old. So I'll be at a very different stage of my life that I am at now. So I can't really answer that at this stage. The next question I have is, do you regret getting them done? And the simple answer to that is no. I'm glad I got them done. I'm glad I followed through with it. And then the next question I have is, what are your scars looking like? And my scars are just looking like about that size under both boob and the crease line, and they're looking a lot less red. They are still noticeable, but they're not very intense, to be honest, and I don't really care about them because no one sees them. They just sit in the right spot, so they're in the crease line, so yeah, not really noticeable. So guys, the last and final question I have to answer in today's video is, did you get any stretch marks? And that was definitely something I was worried about. I really didn't want to get stretch marks on my boobs, and I know in some cases some people got really bad stretch marks from this surgery, but thankfully I did not experience that at all. So that was great. That is the end of today's 1 year boob job update. I hope you guys found it either interesting or useful if it is a surgery that you're considering having. But if I missed any questions or anything you want me to cover, then please let me know down in the description box below, and I can answer that via an upcoming video or just down in the comment section below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you are still interested in knowing more about my own personal experience with my boob job, then make sure to check out my part 1 and part 2 of my boob job vlog. I literally filmed every aspect of getting my boob job done. I literally took my camera to the hospital and filmed myself pre and post op, even when I was high on drugs. But anyway, go check that out. And also, if you are interested in knowing some more answers to questions more closer to my surgery, I did also film a 3-month post boob job update, so if you want to go check that out as well. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.